Hi guys, welcome back to the Garrison. This is Detroit once again coming to you from Rochelle Park, New Jersey. As you can tell, the background here at the Garrison has changed a little bit, and partly that's because I've been working on building a pallet wall. The idea is to create a bunker style here at the Garrison. Okay, so I want to recreate that image that this is a bunker, that this is something that is somehow involved with a bunker image. Okay, so that's why my background here has changed quite a bit. In any case, we were off for the weekend. G.I. Joe was busy with his family. I believe he had to go away, so family does come first, and the game comes last, if not third. In any case, G.I. Joe just went through his order of combat, his order of battle, and he has proceeded with the next stage. Japan finally enters the war and is attacking. Now let's see what happens, folks, and we'll let you know. Okay, so continue watching, and we shall find out what happens during the order of battle. All right, guys, this is currently the ground situation in the Pacific Theater. The Japanese are already poised to perform their attacks. But before I go through the order of battle, I will first review what the purchases were that Generalisimo G.I. Joe made for his purchases. Okay, so for starters, G.I. Joe made a purchase of 1 tech, 1 artillery, 2 infantry, and a bomber. Okay, so those were his purchases for a total of 26 IPCs. All right, so what is the order of battle? Let's start first with the attacks that took place in China. All right, so in China, there were not really any true surprises. As far as I could tell, the Chinese are moving into, I'm forgetting the names of these territories, Chahua, okay, from Jeho, okay, from Shantung. There's an attack also taking place in Atwa. Okay, let me just move this side. I have a better view of the names. I always forget the names for the Japanese provinces. All right, so from Shantung, there's an attack going into Awe. All right, so from Kiangsi, there's a third battle, and that battle is going. There's 3 infantry and 1 artillery piece going into Yunnan, and of course, he's sending a total of 3 fighters and 2 tactical bombers in that attack. All right, the battle that really interests me the most here, though, is the battle in Yunnan, where he is attacking with 3 infantry and 1 artillery that are 3 infantry and 1 artillery that are coming from Kwangsi. He's also using his bombers that are coming from Tokyo, Japan, and he's actually performing an airborne landing with an additional 4 infantry. So I believe that's a total of 7 infantry that are going in, as well as 1 artillery piece. He's going in with 1 tactical bomber and 1 fighter going into Yunnan. Okay, so that's 7 infantry divisions, 1 artillery division, and 2 squadrons, one a fighter squadron and a tactical bomber squadron going in there for the attack against Yunnan. The idea is to knock out or take out of service the Burma Road, which is how the Chinese are supplying themselves with, relatively speaking, modern tech or modern weaponry. Okay, so it's essential for the Japanese to knock out the Burma Road, just as is as essential for the Chinese to maintain it operational. All right, so let's go into the other battles that G.I. Joe declared, and let's go into Siberia. In Siberia, G.I. Joe is performing an amphibious landing. He's attacking Siberia with 1 armored unit and 1 infantry. All right, so in the Amur, he's doing the same. He's mobilizing his forces from Manchuria and Korea and attacking the Amur with, I believe, like about 8 infantry, 1 mech infantry, and an artillery piece. He's moving his anti-aircraft artillery as well into the territory. Okay, so of course, being that he is attacking, or Japan is attacking Russia, okay, the Mongolian rule comes into play, and hence the Mongolians now become allies of the Soviet Union. So hence, G.I. Joe is taking no chances, and he's going to attack the province. I forget the name. It's Bianut something. I can't even pronounce it. But he's going into that province to knock out those two units defending that particular territory. So he's going to take a chance. He may actually lose some fighters if the Russians get lucky or the Mongolians get lucky. Okay, so guys, that's the order of battle. A total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 battles are going to take place. All right, guys. We're back. G.I. Joe just resolved combat. Extremely successful battles in the Pacific for Japan. Okay, so let's just review what the order of battle was. As you can tell, Yunnan fell to the Japanese. Japanese only sustained the loss of 1 infantry division, whereas the Chinese lost 4. Hunan also was taken over by the Japanese. Okay, there was also losses for the Chinese. The Chinese lost 2 infantry divisions. Awe was just a walk-in. Chahar was a walk-in also. All right. As far as the Amur became a walk-in for the Japanese Empire as well. So that's 1 more IPC value for Japan. And also Siberia was a walk-in or a naval landing for the Japanese Navy there. Okay, so basically all 7 battles were successful. The Japanese sustained very minimal losses in this engagement. Okay, so what was the non-combat movements? Basically, the Japanese landed a good number of their air force in Jeho. Okay, also in Quincy, they land. Excuse me, I had a little glitch there with my cell phone. And in Quincy, the Japanese also landed a good number of their aircraft. So I believe there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters, 1, 2, 3 tactical bombers, and 2 bombers in Quincy. In J-Hold, you have a total of 3 fighters and 3 tactical bombers. Okay, so what's the naval situation? From what I can tell, the Japanese have basically broken up their fleet into 3 task forces. You have in Sea Zone 1, Sea Zone 6, you have 2 carriers, a battleship, and 1 cruiser, as well as 1 naval transport. Okay, in Sea Zone 36, off the coast of French Indochina, which is Sea Zone 36, you have a battleship, a submarine, destroyer, naval transport, and a cruiser. Sea Zone 33, all right, you have another Japanese fleet, a task force. You have 3 destroyers, a submarine, a carrier, and I believe this carrier is the Keiga, actually the Akagi, and it's got its complement of 1 tactical bomber and 1 fighter. All right, so this is basically the layout for the Japanese. I see that there's 3 task forces that the Allies, or at least the Allies have to deal with. Also, I must mention that we forgot to mention during the last video that Russia rolled a 5 for its Lend-Lease. A 5 means that Russia will get an additional fighter. Okay, that is a Lend-Lease from the United States. So now in Leningrad, the United States, the Soviet Union now has 1 additional fighter in its air force. All right, so that may be one of the reasons why the Japanese invaded Siberia, to break the Lend-Lease support that the U.S. has. So now the Soviets would have to retake Siberia in order to be able to reacquire that Lend-Lease from the United States. So there was a definite incentive for the Japanese to go ahead and take or attack the Russians. All right, guys, so now that's about it for Japan. Now it's actually the USA's turn, and that means that it's my turn, Detroit's turn. So I will be making the video. I wish I could make a video tonight, but I'm a little busy. And I won't be able to make a video tonight, but I will make a video tomorrow. Okay, so we shall see what I will do. Okay, interestingly enough, I must mention that You know, there was a part of me that was wishing that G.I. Joe would go with a J1 attack on the USA. Obviously, that attack never came. It's, I guess, not in his best interest or part of his strategy to go with a J1. Okay, so I believe that the Japanese are going to at least hold off or have the U.S. stay out of the war for as long as it's possible. All right, so now the question is, how will the Chinese respond to this act of aggression? Half of the country has been taken over by the Japanese. So let's see how the Chinese respond. Okay, the Chinese do have countermeasures. They can't counter the Japanese aggression. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed this video, this episode of The Garrison. Let me know, as usual, what you guys think. And until next time, guys. And as always, don't forget to hunker down and play.